Welcome to World and Mind, the podcast where we explore the mind and the world in all their complexity. Together, we'll dive into personal growth, uncover new ideas, and share stories of motivation, useful insights, and diverse topics of interest. Whether you're seeking inspiration or practical knowledge, this is the place for you. Let's begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. I'm really excited about today's topic, although I'll admit it's a bit off the beaten path. We're going to be diving into the world of labyrinths.
Labyrinths? Really?
You heard right.
Yeah.
We got some fascinating articles from a listener about them, and well, I figured why not? It's not every day we get to talk about mazes and mythology, and well, you'll see where we end up.
All right then, I'm intrigued. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, so labyrinths. When I hear that word, honestly, my first thought is confusing. A bit of a headache, you know? Like trying to find your way out of, well, a maze. But something tells me there's a lot more to it than that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Labyrinths have this incredible history, and they pop up in some really unexpected places. We're talking ancient myths, medieval cathedrals, even modern science. It's a much wilder ride than you might expect.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. So where do we even begin with something so multifaceted?
Well, I think the best place to start is with the most famous labyrinth of all. The one from the Greek myth of Theseus and the Minotaur.
Ah, the Minotaur's labyrinth. Talk about a maze with a bit of a PR problem, right?
Right. I mean, who wants to be stuck in a maze with a half-man, half-bull creature? But you see, even in those ancient myths, the labyrinth served a deeper purpose. It wasn't just about keeping a monster contained, it was a symbol, a way of understanding the complexities of life itself.
Oh, okay, I'm listening.
Think about it. Theseus had to rely on his intellect, his cunning, to navigate that labyrinth. He needed a plan, a strategy. It's a metaphor, really.
A metaphor.
For the challenges we face in life, of course. Don't we always talk about life's twists and turns? Well, the labyrinth makes that literal.
Wow, I've never thought about it that way before, but it makes a lot of sense.
And this idea that the labyrinth represents something more than just a physical space, it really evolves over time. Take the Shropshire Cathedral labyrinth, for example. That's where we see a real shift in thinking.
Oh yeah, the articles mention that one. A labyrinth inside a cathedral. I have to admit, that's a fascinating concept, so different from the whole Minotaur's maze thing.
Exactly. See, during the medieval period, labyrinths became more spiritual. Instead of running from a monster, you'd walk these paths as a form of prayer, as a way to get closer to God.
Interesting. So it goes from frantic problem solving to something else.
It becomes about the journey itself, the contemplation, the patience. It's like that saying, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Except now it's in a labyrinth, in a cathedral.
It really changes the whole meaning, doesn't it? Walking that path, taking those steps. Suddenly it's a metaphor for faith, for personal growth. I like it.
Right. And the fascinating thing is, this idea of using labyrinths to understand ourselves and the world around us, well, it doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more. You're telling me we're not even done with ancient history yet?
We're just getting started. Get ready, because we're about to step out of the realm of myth and into the world of science.
Science?
Wait, what? Labyrinths and science? How does that even work? Labyrinths and science. Now, that's a combination I wouldn't have come up with on my own. How do those two even go together?
Well, you might be surprised. When you think about it, labyrinths, they're really all about problem solving, right?
Yeah.
Navigating through a complex space to get to a goal. It turns out scientists, that's something we're really interested in. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that.
I mean, one of the articles even mentioned using labyrinths to study rats.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that. They use those mazes to study them, right?
Exactly. Researchers have been studying rats in mazes for decades now, actually. It helps us observe spatial reasoning, memory, how different species learn to solve problems.
So they watch how a rat runs through a maze, and it tells them something about how our brains work.
You got it. It may seem simple, but honestly, it's been huge. The data from these studies, it helps us understand things like learning, memory, even what stress does to the brain. Pretty wild, huh?
That really is. It
Yeah.
just goes to show something as old as, well, labyrinths, it can still be relevant to science today. But it gets even weirder. Remember that part in one of the articles about AI and labyrinths?
Oh, absolutely. AI, it's found its way into everything these days, even labyrinths.
Right. Was it like some AI systems can now solve mazes faster than people can?
Faster than humans. Isn't that something? It's mind-blowing, really, and a little bit, well, I don't know, intimidating maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. But what does it even mean? If AI can outsmart us in a maze, what's that tell us about how they think compared to us?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's something researchers are really digging into. But basically, AI, it uses algorithms, like super complex math formulas, to figure out the most efficient path through a maze. Kind of like how your GPS figures out the fastest route, you know?
So like, it's creating its own mental map, but way faster and more complex than we ever could.
Precisely. And the thing is, this technology, this ability to crunch massive amounts of data and find the absolute best path, it's not just about mazes anymore. It's everywhere.
Wait, really? Like where?
Oh, little things. Like your GPS navigating through traffic.
Oh, right. So every time my GPS gets me out of a traffic jam, I'm basically using AI that's been practicing in a digital labyrinth.
Exactly. Self-driving cars, those use it too. Systems that manage traffic flow in cities, even those algorithms that recommend what you should buy online, it's all connected to this ability to navigate complex systems. And, labyrinths, they kind of pave the way for it all.
That's incredible. Never thought about it like that. Speaking of connections, the articles also talked about how labyrinths show up in movies and books and stuff.
Pop culture.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Labyrinths that capture people's imaginations. Always have, really. We see them in art, literature, films. They've become these powerful symbols in our stories, just like in those old myths.
Like those novels the articles mentioned. The Name of the Rose was one, right? And House of Leaves. I haven't read either of those, but they both have labyrinths in them, don't they?
They do. Great examples, actually. Like The Name of the Rose, it uses this creepy labyrinthine library to talk about all these ideas, knowledge and secrecy, even censorship. Like that library itself, it's like its own little world full of mysteries and dangers.
Wow, I might have to check that one out.
Yeah.
And then there's House of Leaves.
Yeah.
Right, with the house that's like a maze itself.
Yeah.
I've heard that one. Yeah, like a scary, messed up maze. It's like the whole house is shifting and changing, right?
Yeah, that's the one. It really messes with your sense of direction, and I think that's the point. The author is using the labyrinth as a way to talk about the mind itself. Our minds, they're like those mazes full of twists and turns and dead ends.
Definitely makes you think. And hey, it's not just books and stuff, right? What about video games?
Yeah.
Zelda dungeons, anyone. Those are like the ultimate labyrinth experience.
Exactly. And don't even get me started on Pac-Man. I mean, talk about a classic. Even something that simple, it's tapping into something deep in us, that need to explore, to figure out the puzzle, to find our way through. Labyrinths, they offer that challenge, that sense of, accomplishment, whether it's a real maze or just a game.
It's true. There's something really satisfying about solving a maze, even if it's just on a piece of paper. Makes you wonder, maybe we're all just running around in our own little labyrinths, life, I mean.
Maybe we are. I mean, isn't that what life is, really? Series of choices, paths we take. Some lead to dead ends. Others open up into something new, just like a labyrinth.
Wow. You're really giving me a lot to think about today. I don't think I'll ever look at a maze the same way again.
Me neither. And isn't that what we're here for? To see things in a new light, to find those unexpected connections.
Absolutely. So, to our listener, if you're feeling a little adventurous after today's deep dive, why not check out some of those books or movies we mentioned? Or, even just look up some labyrinths online. You might be surprised by what you find.
And hey, if you're feeling really inspired, maybe even try building your own labyrinth. It could be in your backyard or, just a little drawing on a napkin. The possibilities are endless.
That's a great idea. And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive into the wonderful world of labyrinths.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, everyone.
Thank you for listening to World and Mind. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others who might find it helpful or inspiring. Remember, every step in the journey matters, and together we can keep exploring new ideas and creating a better world. Until next time, stay curious, stay motivated, and keep growing.